Coordination Center, or ARCC, as we call it. And let me thank first the leaders who have been working so hard on today on this massive airline relocation that is happening next week, and for providing tips and tools to maximize the convenience, hopefully, or to minimize the inconvenience, I should say, may cause. Sean Burton, our Airport Commission President, you'll hear from in a moment, as well as Governor Flint, our Chief Executive Officer here at the airport, Ranjan Goswami, who is the Delta Airlines Vice President of Sales. Today, we are dramatically reimagining LAX. We're spending $14 billion in the largest upgrade of an airport anywhere in the United States. But with that, we know that I've established a goal that if we're going to have a world-class city, we have to have a world-class airport. But in order to do that, to serve our passengers more conveniently and better, we have to build out the LAX of tomorrow. As part of this work, we're renovating every single terminal at LAX. We're building a new midfield concourse terminal. We're creating a consolidated car rental facility, one of the largest buildings, I'm told, in space when it's done, and fixing one of the greatest mistakes of our past, connecting rail and public transportation to LAX. All of these efforts are being taken alongside our airline partners. They're spending billions of dollars themselves to improve the passenger experience. And next week, another step towards the airport's transformation will take place, and one that you need to be aware of, especially if you're traveling. Next week, LAX will undertake one of the largest airline relocations of an operating airport in aviation history. We're going to move airlines between terminals 5 and 6 and 2 and 3. This will impact no fewer than 28 different airlines, representing nearly a third of all the flights that leave out of LAX. And this will be going on from May 12th to May 17th. By Thursday of next week, the room behind me will be full of people working around the clock to assist in this transition. During this 5-day period, some airlines will just relocate their check-in counters. Others will completely move terminals, counters, lounges, gates, everything. Once completed, the move will make way for Delta Airlines' planned $1.9 billion redevelopment of terminals 2 and 3, which will consolidate their operations. Hopefully in the future connect them with our international terminal as well. And this is an upgrade that will not only significantly upgrade and improve your experience in the terminals, it will ease tarmac congestion. Many of us know that experience. The good news is your flight's here early. The bad news is there's not a gate available. But we hope to be able to get flights more in and out of LAX more quickly to improve that passenger experience. That means less time waiting on a runway. And needless to say, this has been a huge team effort and a partnership between public and private sectors. We here at LAX have been planning this for months, and we're going to do everything possible to make travel through the airport seamless. So when you arrive at LAX, here's what you'll see. You'll see new green neon vans that will exclusively shuttle passengers between terminals 2 and 3 and 5 and 6. There'll be over 500 new wayfinding signs. You'll see surged airport staff working around the clock and dedicated wayfinders who will help get you to the right gate. Ground transportation services such as Uber, Lyft, our great taxis and shuttles will be updated on the new airline gates. And you can also use the free LAX A bus, which moves between terminals every 10 minutes, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But we can't do this alone. We need your help. So please pass this information on to your friends, to your family, to your coworkers. Make sure your neighbors and employees know. Tell them to check in online and check in with the airlines and to read those tickets carefully, because they'll say oftentimes a new terminal from what you're used to. Plan in advance. Check with your airline to see if you're affected by this move, and check your terminal and your gate. Most importantly, plan ahead and plan to get there a little early during this week. Traffic may be a little worse during these 5 days, and we want you to get on your flight and get to your destination. We recognize this will be an inconvenience next week, but the long-term result will be something much better than what we have today. A better airport experience for all Angelinos, complete with totally new terminals, great shopping, great dining, customer-focused experience. I've asked Deborah to make this a top-tier airport, not just in the United States, but globally for the passenger. We know these will be a painful few years as construction, relocation, transit comes in, but when we are done, this is going to be one heck of an airport. And this will also provide a better gateway to Los Angeles for the record-breaking number of tourists and travelers that we're experiencing here, now through the 4th busiest airport in the world. I want to thank you for your patience and your assistance as we deliver that world-class airport that you deserve. I'll come back and say a few words in Spanish because the Spanish media is here, but to break up the sound of my voice, I'm going to introduce Sean Burton, whose leadership has been instrumental in this transformation, along with his fellow commissioners, volunteer Angelinos who reflect our city. They don't get paid for their work, but they have a passion for making this a better airport. Thank you, Sean, for your leadership, Sean Burton.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And I particularly want to thank you for giving your personal attention to this move and to get the word out. The goal today is to raise awareness and get the word out about this move. The question is, on the morning of May 13th, will you know where your airline is at LAX? And when the Board of Airport Commissioners approved the new lease with Delta last summer, among our chief priorities was improving the guest experience at LAX. You hear us say that a lot, but it's front and center with the board, with the staff, and that direction comes from the mayor. As you heard, we're undergoing a $14 billion capital development program to improve the airport and to modernize the airport and to give us an airport that all Angelinos deserve. Delta will spend alone up to $1.9 billion to completely overhaul Terminals 3 and make more improvements in Terminals 2, where LAWA is currently wrapping up a $332 million project. And importantly, Delta will build a connector to the Tom Bradley International Terminal that will help in our efforts to tie all 9 terminals together beyond security screening, something that currently doesn't exist. We want travelers to have access to all of the terminals while undergoing security screening only one time. These moves will rebalance the major carriers among our terminals, which will improve airfield operations. That means less delays, that means less pollution, that means less noise, and a better experience for our passengers. Customers of the airlines moving to Terminals 5 and 6 are going to notice some immediate benefits, including recently renovated facilities, increased lobby space, and new ticketing counters with customer-friendly islands featuring check-in kiosks and bag check monitors. They will also have easy access to the Tom Bradley International Terminal using tunnels in the T4 connector that opened last year. This will allow many more people to actually experience the Tom Bradley Terminal, whether it's to enjoy the incredible selection of restaurants or retail stores, catch the great views, or simply stretch their legs. Delta has some exciting plans that Ron Jangaswamy is going to tell you about shortly, and they will add nicely to the Shake Shack that's opening in Terminal 3 later this year. Something I'm excited about. Delta's plans go hand in hand with that. What we're doing is set new modern standards for the 21st century travel and produce a guest experience that's fitting of the world's most iconic airports. For the world-class Bradley Terminal to the Midfield Satellite Concourse currently under development to the renovated domestic terminals the mayor talked about, where we and our airport partners have invested hundreds of millions of dollars, actually billions of dollars, we have dedicated ourselves to improving this guest experience and setting new standards that will make LAX a destination on its own. So the next 2 weeks are going to be challenging. We're prepared, and I'm really proud of the team. Something we've been very focused on at the board is how prepared are we. I'm proud of what the team's done, and I ask bear with us because when these airline relocations are done, it will help us bring us closer to the airport of the future. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Sean. We'll talk about food hamburgers we have at the terminals later. That said, I want to thank our leader here, our CEO, and her superb team that she leads. They will be the men and women who troubleshoot everything that's happening. They will be those ambassadors, and I want to thank her for her leadership and what she is bringing in terms of customer focus to LAX. Please welcome Deborah Flint, our CEO.
Thank you, Mayor Garcetti. It's always a pleasure to be with you, and we thank you for your leadership in messaging this important announcement to the public so that the public is indeed more aware than not about the significant changes that will take place between May 12th and ultimately concluding on May 18th. The mayor thanked many of the team, and I want to echo that appreciation because this move process began months ago with a significant amount of construction that has had to take place, and that construction has been done with the passengers in mind. It's been done safely. Over 3,000 pieces of IT devices have actually been deployed or moved already in preparing for this. 1 million square feet has actually been touched with construction to prepare for the relocation and the moves of the airlines. And this has been done with great partnership led by Delta and so many of our other airlines that have cooperated in this space. That cooperation extends to so many of the divisions that work here at LAWA. You see our guest services and our pup team. Our lovely canine friends are going to be helping to de-stress passengers during the process. We have a significant number of volunteers. Our airport law enforcement, all of our officers and security team are all going to be ready and willing to assist and to help, and will have the information that is so important for the public to have. The cooperation also extends to our agency partners. The Federal Aviation Administration has been a model team player as we prepare for changes on the airfield that also are part of this move. And of course, our friends at Customs and Border Protection are also here, and we acknowledge how well the team works on the efforts to streamline the process and work for the international traveler that comes into and out of LAX. Our team recently had a debrief with the team at London Gatwick Airport, who had a similar move several months ago. It pales in comparison, but it was still significant. And one of the lessons learned for that move was that the message to the passengers that infrequently travel is pretty clear. But to our business travelers that know this airport like the back of their hand, and they might be immune to the messaging, we want to make sure that those frequent travelers pay attention and hear this message loud and clear. Please go to laxishappening.com, look on social media for LAX on the Move for the messages to find out about the status of your airline operation when you're traveling. We appreciate everyone's messaging on this important move. We are prepared, but the responsibility for this going well, we now recognize is with the passengers knowing what to do and understanding what to expect when they come to LAX over the next 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah. The two stars behind me are actually Sergio with a J, in case you want to put them on. He's got a little bit of a star complex, you can see with his sunglasses there, but a great French bulldog, enjoys carrots, watermelons, he doesn't bark. And Chance, who's back here, who's a husky mix from North Hollywood. If anybody knows North Hollywood, hi, they're the Huskies. So anyway, I want to thank Deborah for her good work, and next introduce Ranjan Goswami, who is the Vice President of Sales at Delta Airlines. This again affects 28 different airlines, but probably none as dramatically as Delta. As American will take over some of the old Delta gates in 6, they just have to move next door, but Delta's swinging all the way around. And as you can see, somebody went out the emergency exit just now. Sorry about that. And Ranjan will try to make sure that that isn't just the background for your eloquent words. Go ahead. Anybody got a key?
Thank you, Mayor Garcetti. Thank you for your leadership and vision to build a world-class airport well in time for the 2024 Olympics. Thank you, Commission President Burton and the Board of Airport Commissioners for stewarding one of the largest master plans in commercial aviation history. Thank you, Deborah Flint, for not only executing an unprecedented infrastructure investment, but also running LAX on a daily basis. These are absolutely two full-time jobs. In addition, thanks to the City Council of Los Angeles that have been supportive of this move and provided us their counsel, LADBS for their guidance and collaboration and all the build work that has been going on, the entire team at LAWA who have been true partners to get us to where we are today. In addition, the teams at 27 other airlines and dozens of airport stakeholders have worked together with us. It indeed takes a village, and it is humbling to see just how all of us are rowing in the same direction to build a better LAX. Collectively, we have spent together hundreds and thousands of hours in planning this move, and I'm confident the move will go well. We are just 1 week out, and the scope of the project is impressive. As Deborah mentioned, over 1 million square feet has been affected across terminals 2, 3, 5, 6, and Tom Bradley on the north side. We've installed 26 miles of fiber optic cable, 400 miles of copper cable that enables the IT networks to work, the 3,000 technology devices from every single of the airlines affected. We've created 300 new rooms for airlines to move into for their workspaces of their employees at the various terminals. And we have ensured that all 53 gates across these terminals will be ready for their new airline tenants when the move happens. As the mayor said, Delta is impacted most by this move, and it will take us all 3 of the move nights to move our entire operations from Terminal 5 and 6 on the south side to Terminals 2 and 3 on the north side. But I want you to know that we have your back as customers and as you come to the airport. But I want to reinforce one critical message that you've heard today, but that will help make your journey smooth. And that is, please, before you get to LAX, check your departure gate and your departure terminal. If you're flying on Delta, you can do that on the Fly Delta app or on delta.com on the flight status segment of the site. And that'll give you up-to-the-date knowledge of where your flight is departing, so you can go through and check in at the right terminal, go through security at the right terminal, and you'll be in the right place. This is the most important thing you can do to make sure you get to the right place and your travel isn't disrupted. And of course, if you're traveling on any of the other affected airlines, checking their mobile apps and their .coms for flight status information will be critical. And of course, if you need help, there will be hundreds of Delta and LAWA employees with Ask Me vests on in bright neon green to help you get to where you want to go. As the mayor remarked, and as Commissioner Burton remarked, this move serves a critical purpose. And that purpose is a major step forward in Delta's $1.9 billion investment here at LAX to build what we are calling the Delta Skyway at LAX. It will modernize and upgrade Terminals 2 and 3, connect them. It'll connect both of those terminals airside to the Tom Bradley terminal, and it will create, for the first time in LA in Delta's history, all of our partners under one roof to implement a hub here in Los Angeles, and a world-class facility as well. In partnership with LAWA and the City of Los Angeles, this represents an unprecedented public-private partnership that will undertake, and it's actually the second private infrastructure investment here in the LA Basin, which we are very proud about. Lastly, I want to recognize the 4,000 Delta employees who are here and ready to help all of our customers as we execute this move. And I also want to do a special call out to our 700 corporate real estate builders, construction folks, architects, designers. They have been working around the clock. And not only have they done an extraordinary job to date coordinating this move, but they've also done it the right way, keeping safety first. They are actually the unsung heroes of this project, and we are grateful for their skill, their work ethic, and their craftsmanship. Thank you all very much. Let's move.
Thank you. Actually, I don't see any. Does anybody want Spanish? Is there Spanish? Oh, there you go. Okay. La semana que viene, el Aeropuerto Internacional de Los Ángeles, LAX, pasará por la reubicación de aerolíneas más expansiva en un aeropuerto funcional en la historia de la aviación comercial. Estaremos reubicando aerolíneas entre los terminales 5 y 6 y entre 2 y el 3. Esta reubicación tendrá un impacto en 28 aerolíneas, representando casi un tercio de todos los vuelos saliendo de LAX. Esto sucederá entre el 12 y el 17 de mayo. Hemos estado planeando esto durante los últimos meses y vamos a hacer todo lo posible para asegurar que su viaje por el aeropuerto se mantenga fluido. Cuando llegan al LAX encontrarán lo siguiente. Primero, nuevas camionetas de verde neón, las cuales llevarán exclusivamente a pasajeros entre sus terminales 2 y 3 y entre 5 y 6. Más de 500 nuevos letreros y empleados adicionales dedicados a dirigirles a donde necesitan ir. Servicios de transporte terrestre, Uber, Lyft, taxis y camionetas, con la información más actualizada sobre las nuevas puertas de embarque. Además podrán utilizar la camioneta gratis de LAX, la línea A, la cual se mueve entre los terminales cada 10 minutos durante 24 horas al día y 7 días a la semana. Pero esto no lo podemos lograr solos. Necesitamos su ayuda. Por favor, ayuda a informar a sus familias, amigos, vecinos y empleados. Díganles que verifiquen por el internet y con las aerolíneas y que lleguen al aeropuerto sabiendo de dónde va a salir su vuelo. Planifiquen con anticipación, verifiquen con la aerolínea para saber si esta reubicación los afecta y siempre verifiquen su terminal y puerta de embarque. Y sobre todo, lleguen temprano. Muchas gracias al equipo de LAX por su trabajo también, su visión. With that, we'll take questions. And yeah, the Olympics are coming next week. They're all going to be here. The folks who are going to be judging us, they're coming through this airport. So make sure to smile.
Would you expect to see flight delays?
Sorry?
Would you expect to see flight delays during the move?
There shouldn't be. I don't think we're planning on any.
Again, what Ron John really underscored was the cooperation of all the carriers, and they have been adjusting their flight schedules, really stepping up in terms of their resources to support good and efficient operations. We hope that passengers are well informed so that they get to the airport early and will be able to get to their gates in a nice, orderly, and easy fashion. Lots of people will be there again to assist all of the passengers getting to those gates, but they should plan on on-time flight schedules.
Could you talk more specifically about the relocation process over the 5 days in terms of when the actual moves will be taking place? I think it's overnight, and kind of other hours that passengers should more avoid than others?
No, that's not the case. So during the actual moves, it will be after the last flight operation of each airline. So we are actually using a very compressed time frame for the move, which again challenges all of the team members. This is going to be a highly orchestrated, synchronized machine, so the passengers will actually not see the move at all. But what will happen is an operation that was in one terminal on, say, the night of the 11th, starting on the 12th, that operation will be in a different terminal. So this will all be synchronized in about 4 to 5 hours max during the wee hours of the morning. And as Ron John said, we really appreciate all the team that is working these night hours and on a 24-hour basis really to get this move orchestrated, so it doesn't impact the passengers during their daily operation.
When you talked to Gatwick Airport, was there any other airport, any other entity that you talked to that went the same sort of route?
Not with the level of significance. You know, airlines and airports move terminals, they commission terminals on a routine basis. But the challenge for this particular endeavor, of course, is that we are operating in a facility. It's not a new building that is being opened that we can just go through an operational readiness exercise. And so Gatwick was the one that was most similar because they took 2 operating airlines and essentially switched the terminals for those 2 carriers. So we found a lot of parallels, but it pales in magnitude. We have over 33%, 33 million passengers that are using these terminals that are affected today on an annual basis. So the significance of what we're doing here at LA is really unprecedented and hasn't been done anywhere else around the world.
I know it's part of the next phase, but what's the timetable for the light rail?
So the timetable for the light rail, and Sean can talk to maybe a little bit on the contracts. So we have the Crenshaw LAX line, which is a metro line, should be done in 2019. At the same time, we're putting out and should be going now to get the final bids for the People Mover, which will connect with Crenshaw LAX line and the consolidated car rental. I've told them I'd like to see that done, by 2021. What's the update, John?
We're working on it.
It should be done in the 2021 to 2022. I hear another number, but 2021, 2022 time.
I was wondering how much pushback the other airlines gave on this. Delta paying for this?
I would say that there's been a good amount of cooperation from the carriers. This is a move of such significance that the staff has worked really hard to get everyone on the same page about how the move needs to be orchestrated. Again, when we consider 3,000 different IT devices that need to be moved, of course there are a variety of opinions and perspectives and needs that have to be met. Ron John might want to speak to this, but all of the carriers signed essentially a cooperation agreement indicating their support. And again, understanding that this project makes the overall operations and service levels at the airport much more improved compared to the current state of.
But what is the big advantage? I mean, your big issue is space, really. Right?
Well,
Can you look this way? It doesn't expand the airport. The frustration is that it's just too congested and too confusing. Is this?
No, so a couple things. One is we're expanding gates. Our midfield terminal, which we broke ground on, we are growing the airport. So sorry, I'm supposed to look this way. I'll answer your question, but I'm not being rude. Here we go. Let me start that again. We are expanding this airport and we're expanding gates. But at the same time, the operations are too cramped where they are. This is not just about Delta, it's also about American. of the big four, and of course we have many other airlines as well. This helps right now American, which is putting its international flights in Tom Bradley and cramming up into there, to expand and to have basically both of the terminals that as soon as you come around the corner from Tom Bradley will now be American. Mirror image of that will be Delta. So people come in, they'll know Terminal 1 is Southwest, Terminal 2 and 3 will be Delta, Terminal 5 and 6 will be American, and United, of course, will still be at the end. So you have the big four there. We'll have our other smaller airlines feathered in, but it is now a much better operation. Now we've opened up between Tom Bradley and Terminal 5 a walkway, but for a long time that was tough to get from international flight, an American, to a domestic flight, an American. And so it actually helps multiple airlines as we expand and look at future expansion of gates here at
While the $1.9 billion development is going on, should passengers expect to see delays and issues for Delta passengers during that time?
Good question. No. The idea here is that first, Delta will move from 16 gates and take up 22 gates in Terminals 2 and Terminals 3. What that allows us to do immediately is have more relief on the gate usage that we have today, because our schedule is basically staying flat year over year from 2016 to 2017. In addition, we're going to build dual alley taxiways on the north side. So because those terminals are spread apart further, you can actually get planes in and out simultaneously, which you cannot do on the south side. The next item is that we're closer to the northern runways, which allows for shorter taxis in and out. And so all of these things will actually improve our operational reliability at LAX than on the south side. And going back to the question around whether the airlines are supportive of this, I think if you think about the fact that the largest three network carriers today, Delta, American, and United, are in the south side, one of us moving to the north side will help balance the airfield. And also, all the airlines who are operating today in Terminal 3, that is our oldest terminal in need of TLC. And that is what this project is meant to do. So those airlines are going to move into a brand new Terminal 5 that Delta, together with LAWA, spent $229 million rehabilitating. And they'll also move into a new Terminal 6 that LAWA has been investing in. So I think all the airlines actually are going to get a benefit from this. But certainly one of the things we are very excited about is improved operational reliability, better on-time performance, and fewer gate holdouts when we move to 2 and 3.
I hear there's a Shake Shack there.
Are there any changes in security that, or any kind of special maneuvers that are going to be made to keep the airport safe during the move?
I'll let Deborah speak to the safety piece. That's obviously paramount in everything that we do and plan at the airfield. But we are very excited to be moving into Terminal 2, the new ASL lines that we started in Atlanta a few months prior. They've been working very well. They speed up the process of throughput. By the time we move, we'll have one ASL line in functioning, and then we will expand and add another one soon after the move.
Can you address the security issue during the move?
Our security team of what we have here at Los Angeles World Airports is actually the largest airport law enforcement team in the country, and that team continues to provide excellence in safety and security every single day. This move, of course, not accepted. We will have additional staff on hand and deployed during the move time frame, truly to assist passengers as well in wayfinding and sharing information. But our safety and security is our foundation here at the airport, and of course that will continue during the move with enhanced deployment.
Briefly, why mid-May? Why did we make the move now?
I'll answer part of that. There's never a good time for this move, and as the mayor said, we have grown from last year being the world's 7th largest airport to being the world's 4th largest airport. And we continue to be on an incredible growth trend even this year, over 5% growth on a year-over-year basis already experienced. So as we continue to address the challenges of a facility that is so busy, there really isn't a great time. But we do know what times we don't want to be moving, and that of course would be in the summer where we have our peak operations. And shortly after that summer peak, we enter into the holiday season. So we spend a lot of time on the decision as to when the best move period would be and what was going to be realistic to execute well. This spring came out to be the most opportune time to do that. And everyone has been working incredibly dedicated in order to make this move date happen in a short amount of time.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, thanks everybody. Thanks for helping us get the word out. Appreciate it. Have a great day.